That's a emergency action message. We write down everything that man says. At the end of that message, it says, I say again, we swap our books. Okay, I check your work, you check my work. If we agree, we wrote everything he said and we decode that as a real launch message, which, oh, by the way, a A2, Alpha 2 is a launch message, we now know we have permission to go to that safe. Because we have to make sure it is coming down from the proper authority. Who has authority in this country to launch a missile?
President.
The president. And only the president, unless the session plan is in place. So we have to go and authenticate this message. So we go to that safe, pull out 15 of these cards. The crew would call these cookies. They're authenticator cards. Say the second line started out with WD, Whiskey Delta. We got that cookie out, we cracked it open. We'd pull out the information. We'd verify it started with WD, and the next 5 characters, if they match the next 5 characters on the second line, then we know we have the authority of the President of the United States to launch. Now, there's a second fail-safe in there. It's called the butterfly control lock. You saw this in the movie. Up until 1975, an unauthorized person could launch a missile, which would be totally unacceptable. That would start World War III. We are not starters, we're finishers. So that's not a good thing. So in 75, they put this device in. It essentially is an encrypted lock that locks out that missile unless the proper code is received. And we just got the proper code because that code comes down from the president. But essentially, on the bottom of stage 1's 4 valves, 2 for their Xene 50, 2 for the oxidizer. On one of the oxidizer valves, they put a pin that locks it closed. If they open, propellant flows and it comes together as hypergolic action. It just explodes in the injector plate to get the liftoff and launch. But on one of these lines, if it's locked, it cannot open and we cannot get a launch. And this pin is controlled by this device here. It's a 6 character with 16 alpha characters each. That's 16 to the 6th power commander. I know you know that's a little bit under 17 million combinations, which is a pretty good amount of combinations. However, it's not enough security. We also hardwired this in Davis Moffett, so if anybody touches this, you're going to get a call from the colonel finding out what's going on at your plant. Then lastly, we put a tries counter. On a 7th incorrect try, over the life of this device, it will lock out permanently, and a very specialized crew has to come and reset this. Now, we just got that message and that code because it just came down from the president. It's in that briefcase behind him at all times. We call it football. So it did what it was supposed to do. It took away the chance of an unauthorized launch and put it in the command and control structure. So you read that number out to the BMAT, they put it in and push the green button. That pin is now retracted. We're now locked and loaded and ready to go. The last thing is the time to launch. World War III is a highly choreographed event. We do not want our missiles hitting each other as they go over the Arctic Circle. So we have to stag, time offset everything. So we decode the time and we mark it on the launch clock so there's no confusion. Commander, it's time to launch. We go back over there, we get our launch keys. You put your key right there, I put my key over here. It is 7 foot apart. It takes 2 people to turn these keys. Also, they're spring-loaded. It takes 2 people in agreement to turn these keys. Commander, we need you to take your left hand now and put it on that key. That key turns clockwise to the 3 o'clock position when I say turn. 3, 2, 1, turn. Hold it till you see the green light. Do you see the green light?
Enable launch?
Yep. Release. Now, what he and I did just is equivalent to pulling a trigger on a rifle. That bullet is now going out through that barrel and there's nothing we could do about it. If the President of the United States called up and said, stop, I didn't mean it. There's no stop button, there's no oops button, there's no recall, there's nothing we can do about it. It's gone. So you might as well sit back and relax. The green light means we have a good key turn. The next line is batteries activated. On board that missile is 2 lead-acid batteries. For the very first time, they're being force-fed electrolytes. They just did. It came up to full speed. Now we're opening up that silo closed door. Crash through the tipsies. We've got silo soft. We're locking up the thrust mount. We're pouring water down at the bottom of that silo. The guy on his computer has now talked for the very last time with the targeting system. We're now opening up these valves. What's going to happen when these valves open up? We're going to get engine ignition, and with engine ignition, we get fire in the silo. We're now building up to 100% thrust, which occurs in seconds. When we reach it, we blow 4 explosive bolts. That missile is now sailing toward target 2, up to 6,300 nautical miles, 30, 35 minutes, it's a hole in the ground. Okay, we put out the fires, we close this door because we're going to probably get hit. And we listen for our last orders. If our last orders never come, then we got a choice to make. We have to take inventory of how many people are here and figure out how long we could breathe in this structure. And at the end of that time, either perish here or go down below, open up the hatch, climb up top to a very different world. So, congratulations, Commander. You failed your mission. What was our mission?
Deterrence.
Deterrence, never to launch. And thankfully, we had that successful mission, right? These sites never launched. But you did a great job turning that key, so here's your reward. If you would, read the red lettering, if you would.
I turned the key.
Okay, the reason I asked that is we're 250 feet apart from this pole to that missile. We never heard it go, we never heard that door open up. So if it's gone, US, $63, missile, 63, in $63, 2.5 million. So, if it's gone, well, I gotta collect. Let's go down and see that missile. Now, if you would follow Brian out through the short cableway, through a blast lock, through the long cableway to the missile itself. He's going to take you out there and talk about that.